It's been hard to find too many prominent voices supportive of Donald Trump's announcement this week. Previous friends now appear to be foes. Are they scared of backlash or just genuinely don't want the former president back in the White House? Dr. Trey Pennie, head of the National Fallen Officer Foundation and Fox News star, joins us now. Doctor, do you want Donald Trump to succeed here?
Yeah, of course. Look, I'm Team Trump. You guys got to remember, look, I was just a police officer with the Dallas Police Department, and the Trump administration came to me back in 2016, and look, I had some of the greatest experiences that any person coming from my type of background could have had, and so I'm very appreciative of everything that President Trump has done for me, and looking at everything he's done for the country, especially for law enforcement. I mean, you got to think. Look, we went through a whole cycle for the last several years since 2014 of just attacks against law enforcement. Everyone demonized police, and he was the only president to really come out and say that he supported law enforcement and put all his resources into supporting law enforcement. So I think it's definitely going to be a great election going forward. My only thing is that I hope that I'd pray that everyone stays out the way, but look, I would imagine that other people are going to put their names in the hat, and I just hope that the Republican Party stays intact after this election. So, look, we got 2 years of running down here in the United States, so it's definitely going to be interesting.
Oh, we will all get out the popcorn. There is no doubt about that. Ron DeSantis, the Florida governor, you don't think potentially he could do exactly what Trump could, but without all the baggage?
No, look, I mean, I love Ron. I mean, I love DeSantis. I have a strong base up in Florida, and look, those are the politics that I talk about. You know, I'm connected to all these guys. The reality is that, look, it's going to be a great race depending on who puts their name in the race. We don't even know if Ron DeSantis is going to run. We don't know if Vice President Pence is going to run. But I do know that a lot of names are being thrown out, and it's going to be like time will tell. I mean, this was early for President Trump to announce that he's going to run, and look, I think it's going to be. It's going to be a fundraising free for all for everybody. Mm-hmm. And look, I'm just kind of looking forward to seeing what's going to happen, because at the end of the day, as the chips start to fall in place, you may see the next installment of Trey Pennie.
Well, I've watched and followed your career for a long time now. Are you finally saying that you'll throw that hat in the ring?
You know, I don't know. I mean, look, I see I'm getting a lot of calls right now. There's a strong demand to bring back law and order to the forefront of our politics in this country. And unfortunately, you know, if you look at where we are right now, we got a lot of people that are going in that are in Congress that have no idea what really happens in the real world, especially as it relates to law enforcement and public safety. So I think I bring a whole nother energy to that type of to that perspective on what we need to protect our police officers. And to keep our community safe. I mean, you got to remember, I'm an advocate. I'm an advocate for law enforcement. I'm an advocate for the community, especially our urban communities that have experienced crime in unprecedented fashions over the last several years. So I'm really looking forward to doing whatever I can to change those dynamics. I mean, I just hate. Look, I just got back from Chicago 2 weeks ago, and spoke at a conference where. It was a Save Our Children's conference, and we were expecting that, you know, people would show up, but we just didn't expect the type of turnout that it was. I mean, you had a church full of people that were looking for answers, and unfortunately, in Chicago at that time, 2 weeks ago, there had been 33 families that had lost kids under the age of 17 this year alone in Chicago. Those are real issues that are impacting our urban communities, and people are looking for answers, and I want people to know that it's not police. I mean, police don't have the resources. It's not the officers that don't want to protect you. They just don't have the resources. And I think as the community starts to understand that, then they'll start putting a little bit more onus on the politicians to legislate and give the resources to the people so they can hire more police to keep them safe.
Dr. Trey Pennie, as always, thank you so much for joining us here Down Under.
All right. Thank you for having me, Erin.